My name is Chisumaga Edio Isocha. Officially, people call me Dr. Chisom. Unofficially, they call me Chisom. I'm from Abazoba, in the middle local government area of Imo State, Nigeria. The NISA Foundation, I think, is basically a way of trying to formalize and put a structure around what we started doing in my family. My parents died in quick succession and that devastated us. So we are looking at what we can do to immortalize their name because they were great people. They were mentors, they were our heroes. So we started doing this free medical outreach, helping people. And then it grew, and then we needed to put a structure around it. And that structure was this NISA Foundation. So that it can become a vehicle that we can use to formally document what we are doing, helping people from all walks of life, from across Nigeria. One key thing that surprises people and people seem to find unbelievable until they test it and see is that what we do it free. We are not expecting anything from anybody. We are not running for political office. We are not duping people. So people, when you tell them that you can actually come for 100% free medical, and they know you that you're not a multi-millionaire, they know your family that you are not working in government, they know you from where you're coming from, so they don't believe that somebody can actually care enough to help people the way we are helping. I think when we started this in 2022, we did 39 fibroid surgeries free of charge. In the open market, that would be like that time. That would be like 1.2 to 2,000 to 2 million naira per surgery. So people never believe that somebody can come and do what you're doing. So that's one of the things that surprise people. And they come and they see. And when we say free medical, we mean free. Like for the surgery operations, that this goes for pre, during, and post-surgery treatment and recovery. 100% for everybody. And also, one other thing that surprised me that Nigeria, very, very tribalistic. They don't believe that somebody can actually come and do this thing for people you never know before. So it is open to every Nigerian that is able to find themselves, bring themselves to the location where we are hosting each of the outreaches. Okay, since NISA Foundation came, like I said before, it was an effort to put a structure to what we are doing so we can actually make more impact. We help people that go to school. We support them in paying school fees. We support people in their medicals. And we also have this pillar of economic empowerment where we give this zero interest loan to people that they refund it after 1 year so that other people can get. So putting that structure around it. So in the area of medical, which is actually the bulk of what we've been doing over the last 3 years, 3 sessions we've done these free medicals, we reached out to more than 5,000 people from all over Nigeria, right? Total, I think we've done like closer to 100 fibro surgeries that is free of charge. We've done approximately 180 hernia surgeries and the same number for appendicitis. Last year we did 10 goiter surgeries. Cumulatively, we have done close to 800 cataract surgeries, and we have actually given out more than 1,500 reading glasses to people. And this does not count to the close to 2,000 people, outpatient people that have come for collected malaria medicine, collect high blood pressure medication, or whatever outpatient treatment that the doctors and volunteers that come and our partners that come to give to them. So this is great impact. This year we partnered with Tekedia Institute, and we sent 85 Nigerians for the Tekedia MBA, mini MBA, and it was free for them. And this is not counting the children that we pay their school fees, secondary school, those that we support in the universities. And I talked about the revenue. So in total, we can say that, top of my head, NISA Foundation, since we started, we've actually touched significantly in an impactful way the lives of close to 6,000 Nigerians. Yeah, I think of all the work we do along the four pillars, the pillars of evangelism, the pillar of health empowerment, the pillar of education empowerment, and economic empowerment, the one that we have done that I'm actually very, very proud of. Well, so proud of all of them, but I think the one that has touched the lives of people, significant impact on people, is the aspects of the medical outreach, right? Last or this year, let me talk about, because what we did this year was only purely eye clinic. So the joy of seeing these old women in the village from all over the states that came in, most of them were not seeing, and then after the cataract surgery, they could see. And yesterday, during the last outreach, I saw this woman that after they removed, we call it the unveiling, after they removed the plaster from my eyes, because they did 2 surgeries on both eyes to remove cataract. You say, is this how beautiful Oba Hospital is? I've not seen it before. So what Jesus Christ talked about the blind seeing. So when you see that, when you see people break out with joy, break out praising God, thanking God for the gift of sight that have been restored, right? And it only humbles you. There was one man that we had that had hernia last year. That was very, very significant for me. He's had this hernia for more than 10 years. So the scrotum sac has so much enlarged. When I walked into the theater, doctors told me that they drained out 4 liters of liquid from him. It was unbelievable, right? 4 liters. And that's what this man has been carrying all over the place for the past 10 years. And when he came out from the theater, the day he was discharged, he came and he hugged me. He said, I've done for you what no other person could have done. But it wasn't me, it was God that made it possible for him to actually come there, and for the doctor that came out to volunteer their time, that came. We have fantastic doctors from all over the country. I think the person that performed that surgery for him was Dr. Gimbia. I think he was the chief medical director from Kaduna State. So he left Kaduna State, came to Imo State to help people. Dr. Dad came all the way from the United States. Also, that's the chief. His specialty is the fibroid surgery. He does like 5 or 6 in a day. So when you see these people come up with their testimonies, there was one woman, she came last outreach with her child, that whatever we want her to do, she will do. Married for 12 years. So because of fibroid, they've not had a child. So when we had the surgery the previous year, and she went home, so everything was successful, and she came with her son. The next outreach we did, and she came with her husband, and they were there with us for the volunteering for the next 10, 12 days that we were there. So when you see the impact, these are people that literally would have died if we are not there, right? These are people that are like this one that maybe would not have had their own children if we are not there. These are women and men and young people that would have gone to their grave blind if we have not been there doing what we're doing. So when I look at the medical impact, the impact of the medical outreach, very, very impactful, very, very significant, and there you see touching people, immediate impact, immediate effect on the lives of people. So it humbles me and also motivates me and my people to continue sacrificing and doing whatever we are doing. Okay, so that's it. Okay, one of the, actually I'll talk about one is the simplest one that everybody knows, funding. I'm a civil servant, and my brothers and sisters also that support as civil servants. So we do all these things from our own savings. It's a sacrifice, right, that we are doing. It's not that we have all those monies. So funding is always a challenge. We've never gone out there to ask people for funding. Yeah, there might be. I think last year, this year's outing, there was one lady from Togo that gave us 1 million naira. Thank you very much for that, Charlotte. The one of the most difficult challenges we had was last year. It was May. I think that was May, 30th of May. Our friends in NIPOB came and say it's a sit at home that they declared nobody moves around Biafra land. How they got my number, I don't know. I have probably 30, 40 volunteers from all over Nigeria, most of them actually from Middle Belt, that are there. We have almost 20 people in the theater. Doctors have not discharged. I told them, what kind of crap is this? What do you mean that you cannot come? This is what we are doing here. You say you're protecting them, we want them to die. So we are going to come. They say we must not come, otherwise I told them I'm going to come and heavens will not fall. And of course, it's not everybody that had the kind of courage I have. The doctors that came from northern Nigeria and from Megabet, everybody, we try to manage the information so that people are not afraid to come out. And also, you need to manage in such a way that they don't come up with the impression that you're willfully exposing them to danger, right? So, the whole of that money, it was telephone call, negotiation with these people. We must do it, and you must not disturb our job. And one thing we do, yes, no security. We don't come with any security expert because we believe that we are doing good for the people, and people that come to work for us must also feel free. Putting all these mobile policemen around us does not really make people free. So I told them nothing is going to happen in my places, in my village. So if my people cannot secure them, then there's no need in us coming. So long story short, I told them we are going to continue what we are doing. Let them continue doing what. Nobody should come and disturb our work and all the rest of it. And we actually continued our work. Work was not interrupted. It was actually the lead doctors that came here that actually mentioned that, okay, just in case, this is the telephone, this is the security station that we've gotten here and all the rest of it. And we agreed that we are still going to come out and nothing happened. And we came out and nothing happened. So it was at the point, coming out that morning, staying there the next day, staying there all through, not knowing what may happen or what may not happen, right? It was a very, very challenging. It was a very, very challenging 24 hours for us. But that day came and went, and nothing happened, and we continued our work until we finished the 12 days that we planned, and there were no incidents. You can support us with your prayers. But before I go there, I think we are planning our biggest ever medical outreach for Q1 next year. It's going to be, we are looking at 14 days, and we are going to bring in 60 to 100 volunteers, medical practitioners, covering ophthalmology, covering dental, covering the general surgery, appendicitis, hernia, fibroid, and all those stuff that we do. Right? We are looking at, within this period, we are looking at touching directly surgery we are planning. We are looking at those 500 surgical procedures. Right? So that requires a lot of funding. It's planned. We are trusting God. We are believing God that the money somehow is going to come out. We don't know where it's going to come. So whatever anybody can help to do us financially, looking at the website, donate. One good thing that you know is that your money is going to be used specifically 100% for whatever you're donating it for. And if you don't have anything to donate, your time matters. Coming to Owerri, we'll be doing it in the village. We are looking at using the Federal Medical Center in Owerri for this outreach. We are expecting close to 10,000 people. We need people to manage crowd. We need people to manage registration. We need, especially around the Imo State, Abia State, Anambra axis, Enugu axis, medical doctors that are around those areas to come and volunteer your time, right? Because that's actually the best. This is the best thing that you can do for your people, right? And not only for the people from the region, but also because it's open to every Nigerian that can come, right? The program we did last year, the very first person coincidentally that came and registered was one guy from Kano State. His name is Hamza. When I saw him, when we got to I was surprised somebody is already. I said, how did you know about this all the way from Kano? So it's open to every Nigerian. We have people that came from Abuja, we have people that came from Lagos, we have people that came from Ekiti State and Ibadan, and of course Akwa Ibom, River State, Enugu, Anambra State, and Abia State people, and of course Imo State people that came. So volunteer your time, volunteer your talent if you don't have any money to give to us. Volunteering work, I actually started it, I think, in 2007 when I was mobilization director for CAPRO, and we had these outreaches to Northern Nigeria. So during my leave, I normally go to Kano, Kaduna, Katsina states to teach in primary schools. And some of these primary schools, there was no security challenges at that time in those areas. So we stay in what we call the all-star hotels, because when you're sleeping right there in the open, you're looking up and you're seeing all the stars, right? What drives us is basically that passion to help people and to make impact in the life of children. So one thing that people think is that when you come into this non-profit, when you have an NGO, you're making money. That there are people from America giving you money, people from Europe giving you money, and all the rest of it. That has not been our experience in this foundation. these have been our own savings. These have been the, sometimes I have to go to the money that I take to pay my children's school fees to bring money to actually do these things, right? Somebody will call you. There was one lady that came when we were living there. That, Jason, do you want me to go and die? I've come here, people have not been able to help me, right? Or you people are going today. Because one of the things, the saddest times for me is this, the day that we are going to go, or two or 3 days to the time where the program is going to finish, and we have to turn people out. We have to turn people back. And these are people that you know that some of them, as they are living there, there's no hope for them. Some of them in the next 2 or 3 days are going to die. And you have to turn them back because you simply have none. So there's no money in it. The greatest reward that you get out of it is basically seeing people healed, seeing people helped, seeing that old woman that nobody that will not have seen again see, right? Seeing that child that cannot go to school because you know that the parents, there's no way they're going to afford it, paying their school fees to go and actually enroll for school and start going, right? Seeing that child that couldn't write her final exams in university because they did not pay their school fees, go and write her exam, seeing them graduate, right? So people believe that there's a lot of money. There are people, some we are bringing money in. No, you're the one actually. If you're the one doing it, if you're passionate about it, it's actually your sacrifice. I know the vacation that I couldn't go because we need to do this, right? I know the properties I didn't buy because we need to do this, right? I know the clothes I should have bought, I didn't buy, or parties I should have made, birthday parties that I couldn't do because I have to discuss with my children, hey, no birthday party for you today because there are some people that we actually, that money can actually make more impact in a longer and a more strategic way. So that's it. People believe that there's money there. There might be, but I don't know. But in my own experience, what I've seen is that we have been the ones that are giving. I think the next project we are looking at is a medical outreach, the free medical outreach. We are planning for that one next year. It's going to be our biggest so far. It's actually going to be, the way we are looking at it, is going to be like 2 years or 3 years program rolled into one. We are going out mobilizing our volunteer, mobilizing our partners, Operation Blessing, Soteria Africa, the Helping Hands for youth and women, and the churches in the vicinity. And of course, we are going to be partnering with the Federal Medical Center. I think I have a meeting next week with the director to see how all of us can actually collaborate together to do this project for our people. Actually, I told them that for the 1 week or 2 weeks we are going to be there, we are going to take over the whole hospital and we are going to take care of everybody that is there. So that's big. That is believing by looking at faith. I don't want to mention the estimate that we are looking at now, right? But we are trusting God. So we are going to do it, right? We believe that somehow we are going to get the volunteers. Somehow we are going to get the money to buy the consumables. And somehow we are going to have people coming out to come and receive help that they couldn't have received. Essentially because the governments of the day have abdicated their responsibilities. So that's why we exist. People like us exist to make impact and to help whatever you can do. So that by the time we're no longer here, we would have left our own steps in the sands of history. This song that people always sing when people die, only remember by the works we've done. So we're looking at ourselves in our family. Our parents really did their own part, bringing us up and helping as many as they can help. Both of them, we are primary school teachers, but I know that there's never a time you come to our house that there are people that are not related to us that are staying with us. They pay other people's school fees with their mega resources, so basically continuing that, and that's why we're here. I want to recognize especially 700 Club Operation Blessing. They were the first people that came and partnered with us and brought Katafa funding, brought the volunteers and helped them. So the whole staff volunteered for Operation Blessing, CBN Africa. We are very grateful for the impact that you have made and the way you have actually inspired us to 5 times we've done this program, they have always allowed us to use their hospital free of charge. Right now, we are very, very happy for their partnership. The Anglican churches in our village, all the 9, 10 towns that make up Ogogo, they have always been the people getting active, going out there, coming out actually to manage the evangelism aspect of this outreach. That when we help people, I think that's what the Bible talked about in Luke chapter 10, verse 9. He said, when you go into any community, heal the sick and tell them that the kingdom of God is near them, is at hand. So when we heal the sick, we hand them over to the churches. So they are the ones that actually take care of their spiritual needs and the rest of them. So we are very, very grateful. The Ogwa, EFAC, and the SUD, we are very, very helpful also for their partnership. And people from my community that always come around there to help with crowd control, that come around to come and help with registration, that come around actually to help also volunteer in being what they call them in the hospital, these are helpers, helping bringing people out from the theater, cleaning the hospital environment, and all that, because it's a very, very massive operation that we do. So all the people, even those I couldn't mention here, my brothers and sisters, right? Dr. Neka, she always comes, she's a medical doctor, so she comes to consult. My elder brother, Chigozri, my younger brother, also that is here, and those that are not in Nigeria that also help support, bring their own money, bring their own resources, and so we are very, very grateful. God bless all of you in Nigeria, because we have this proverb that when the mother goat is chewing corn, the children are looking at it. So we watch our children, we watch our own parents, and we are doing our own, and we believe that our children are also watching us. The sacrifice that all of us are making. Very, very appreciative of you and everything that you're doing. So I say, may God bless all of you, and even those I couldn't mention their names that have helped in one way or the other. I say God only sees you. I may not have seen you, but God sees you. And those that are still going to support us in the future, thank you very much. Here, and Madam Charlotte, she was with the German embassy here in Abuja. She's one person that actually helped us significantly last year, like that money. Madam Abimbola, my mentor in Port Harcourt also. When we started our list also, she came out and supported us in our little way. So, and I say, and my fellowship in Port Harcourt, the Petroleum Christian Industry Fellowship International, your prayer support is well appreciated. We keep on looking for more